I had to go and use rags and cloth for me to absorb the period blood.
Mamangu hajawahi kuwa na ile stress ya this month natafuta doi nafaa nibaye mtoi pad.
Every single day, around 300 women and girls will be on their period. That statistic is courtesy of Plan International, with whom we've been collaborating with over the last few weeks right here on Citizen TV, bringing you a feature series called Rewrite Her Story, where we've been shedding light on the social justice issues that affect especially adolescent girls in informal settlements around the country. I'm Janet Mbogwa. I'm the founder of Inua Dada Foundation. In 2014, I incorporated my foundation with a focus on amplifying messaging around menstrual health management, especially looking at the gaps in access to products for girls of primary school going age. And many years later, Plan International, Inua Dada, and several other CSOs around the country are raising awareness on menstrual poverty, or period poverty as it's known. Because period poverty affects the lives of millions of girls in Kenya. They are unable to go to school. Many of them fall pregnant due to teen pregnancy because they're not aware of the functions of their body. And many are unable to have a fair chance at competing in life like many other members of society. As this episode goes to air, it'll have been a few days since the world marked Menstrual Health and Hygiene Day, marked every single year on the 28th of May. In this episode, we meet Yasmin Mohammed, a girl who has become a woman. She didn't have access to products, and now, after she was empowered, she in turn has empowered so many girls in her community in Kibra. We also speak to some of the young people who've been impacted through her program, as well as what's next for the fight to menstrual equity. Here's a look at Rewrite Her Story with Plan International and Inua Dada Foundation.
My name is Yasmin Mohammed. I'm 27 years of age. I'm a menstrual champion, born and raised in the informal settlement of Kibera. I started an initiative called SUPAB. SUPAB is an organization that works towards promoting good health and well-being for women and girls living in the informal settlement of Kibra. And we've been in the front line in advocating for matters of menstrual health management. My journey started when I was 9 years, when I lost my mom and living under the custody of my grandma. Life was a bit hard because at 9, that was when I was starting to transition to the next stage of life. And upon reaching puberty, I started my menses when I was in class 7. And it was really hard for me to take it because I was not prepared in matters of menstrual health. I even stained my uniform, so I was really afraid and ashamed of even speaking out. I had to go and use rags and cloth for me to absorb the period blood, of which to me it was not healthy because at one point I was getting infections with feeling itchiness and some sort of discomfort. So it was a bit hard for me to access menstrual product, and that's when I was recruited in one of the organizations here in Kibera. And I got empowered. I was empowered with different skills, different knowledge and information. I also got, they used to support me with the menstrual dignity kits. And upon transiting the organization, that's when I started my initiative, because to me, somebody worked with me. So I also need to work with other young girls who did not get the opportunity to be recruited in such organizations. So that's when I started SUPAB. I recruited adolescent girls and teenagers. We have young women in the program. So us is to facilitate, is to empower them on their rights and see on how we can advance women's rights in the informal settlement of Kibera. I met Plan in 2015. They had a project called Adolescent Girls Initiative Kenya. So I applied to be a mentor in that project, of which I got the opportunity to join them, and it was a 2-year project. So in the project we were mentoring adolescent girls here in Kibra, and that's how my journey started with Plan International. I got empowered because they took us through refresher trainings on financial management, sexual and reproductive health and rights. We also did open psychology, we did gender-based violence. I also got an opportunity to engage with Plan in different projects like Girls Advocacy Alliance, the Wezesha Dada project, And for me, it's such an honor because whenever they come in Kibra, they don't hesitate to reach out to us, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. They donated to us some cartons of sanitary towels for us to go and distribute to the community. And I'd commend Plan International for the good job they are doing in different informal settlements in Nairobi and also in the country at large for their good job in ensuring that our girls don't lack access to sanitary towels, and also with the Sanitation Project.
In our programming, we discuss with communities, we discuss with parents on what best can be done, and bring together a few resources to support this kind of work. We have managed to support girls to access the products and services in their respective communities. For example, within Nairobi, within the informal settlements, we've gone further to support them to access the products, especially the sanitary parts, providing more information and awareness creation within the schools and within the communities where they are.
As Superb, we engage boy child in the conversation because they are our allies in matters of women's rights, and we believe that when men come on board, then we'll have great impact, we'll have huge impact. Again, we have a higher percentage of men who are in leadership positions. So we need to engage men so as for them to go and formulate policies that are women friendly, for them to go and represent our agenda at both county and national level, and also at local level. We work closely with men because for this young girl to go and transact sex for sanitary towel, he goes to the men ally. So we need to empower them as well. And even if you look around, we are having men who have joined us today in this campaign of menstrual cycling, because we believe they are part and parcel of this process. Plan power! Inua dada power! When we keep on discriminating men in this conversation, we will go nowhere.
Mimi ni beneficiary wa Superb. Wasichana hapa nje wengi wanapitia challenge ya kupata pads. Nakumbuka hata kuna day nilikosaga pads. My mom ikabidi amenipea kitambaa. Akaniambia nitumie hiyo kitambaa, nikimaliza nioshe. Tangu tu nianze kupata hii pad free, mamangu hajawahi kuwa na ile stress ya this month natafuta doi nafaa nibaye mtu hii pad. Hajawahi kuwa na hiyo stress. Mimi anajuaga tu ikifika hii month mimi nenda Superb. So like ime reduce the expense kwa nyumba.
We will rewrite the story of girls who have been affected by period poverty through supporting them. I believe it requires a collective effort. Let us not be judgmental. Let us not victimize the young girls who opted to access sanitary towels in immoral behaviors. They have a reason as to why they did that, and let us rewrite this story through coming up with intervention like innovative solutions and positive solutions that will enable these young girls to access sanitary towels in a very healthy and sanitary manner.
Mimi kama Scarlett ningepata chance ya rewrite my story, ningesaidia madem wengi mtaa na pads, hata kama ni kidogo najua, hata kama ni madem kiasi najua ndakuwa nimesaidia pale.
Speaking about the government, well, we have the policy that was launched last year for menstrual hygiene, and it was launched by the Ministry of Health. So we are looking forward to its full implementation of that policy. We understand that we are good in writing policies, but again, implementation is another thing. So we need to ensure that the government domesticates the policies at local level. They need to make the common mwananchi, this mama mboga, this young girl who is a casual laborer, to understand the policy.
In addition to having the policies in place, I think the government can do much more in terms of resource allocation to MHM programming and ensuring that the counties are supported to resource and to have their own policies at the county level, so that we have county level policies that really gear up towards how we can allocate resources for MHM programming, and to continually supporting the other key stakeholders, ensuring that the policy environment, the implementation frameworks and the monitoring is properly done. and sharing of the best practices on what has worked very well within counties, so that we can bring them this to the national level to inform on policy review and enhancement of the MHM work within the country office.
We want the government to also integrate menstrual health in primary and also secondary school, for our girls to be informed on menstrual health management, and also for them to be able to make informed decisions about their body and their life. I'm rewriting my own story through working with other girls from Kibra, like what I went through in terms of accessibility of menstrual products. I don't want any other girl from informal settlement, and that's why I'm doing what I can to ensure that these young girls have access to quality menstrual products. So me rewriting my story is seeing a young girl from the informal settlement of Kibra accessing sanitary towels in a healthy manner.
Menstruation is not a women issue. Menstruation is a human issue.
Stigma and taboos around menstruation still persist, so much so that even male champions, many of whom have come forward over the last few years to fight for menstrual equity alongside women and girls, many are still afraid to step forward and use their voices, and yet they are such an integral part of this movement.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Abdullah Hussein, jina mtaani naitwa Reza aka Mr. Pads. Nimezaliwa Kibira na nimelelewa huko. Jina Mr. Pads lilikuja because I'm very proud kusaidia watu wasichana. Ni initiative nimekuwa nikifanya. Saizi I've been doing issue ya madem, watu kusaidia watoto wasichana 6 years saizi, na mimi najua zile challenges wanapitia. Kwetu hatuna msichana, tumezaliwa tu watu vijana wawili. Na the other thing nimekuwa nikiona my mama akisaidia watoto wasichana. So nilikuwa naona akiwabaia pads. Sikuwa naelewa hizo time, bado nikiwa mdogo. So nikafanya research yangu vizuri, nikaongea na yeye, na kuongea na yeye nikapata kwamba menstruation is not a women issue. Menstruation is a human issue, na ndio maana nikajitokeza pia mimi niweze kusaidia. The word menstruation inaanza na men. Inamaanisha si kama men tunafaa tukue part of the initiative, na nikisema jani yangu imekuwa successful because nikianza watu walikuwa wanashindwa huyu anafanya nini hii issue. Kuna wale watu wanaona ni tabu mwanaume kusimama kuongelelea issue ya menstruation, lakini mimi nilikuwa nisha make mind yangu na nikaona hii jani nitaenda nayo na nika stick nayo for 6 years now, na kwangu imekuwa successful. Saizi hata mademu wakiniona ama naweza simama mbele ya mademu niongee, kuna area zile nimefanya wanaume, saizi anaweza toa 50 bob yake anunulie msichana pads. Because mi pia ni father, niko na mtu msichana amemaliza class 8. So mimi nimekuwa kama ambassador wake, na hizo ndo zile vitu tunafaa kuangalia. Kila mzazi akikuwa ambassador wa watoto wao kwa nyumba, wa watoto wao kwa jirani, tunaweza kuwa na big impact kwa hii mtaa yetu kuchange hizo issue za menstruation. Gap iko bigi, lakini sana nashukuru wale mashirika nimesaidiana nao, watu kama Plan International wamenisaidia sana, because when nikigonga hiyo mlango nafunguliwa. So hiyo ni kitu moja ile imekuwa, na sasa hizi umeona tunaanzaga tuko na challenge ya menstruation, lakini inakuja kuend up unafanya another program ya young mothers, another program ya teenage pregnancy, na hizo zote tangu nimegonga mlango kwa Plan International nimekuwa nikisaidika, na bado hii ni kitu zile hatuwezi maliza mimi peke yangu venye nimesema. So we need to come up na solution ile, tuone venye tunaweza kuja na tangible solution ile inaweza saidia msichana akipata pads mara moja anaweza kaa nayo mwaka. Si lazima tu ya disposal peke yake, tunafaa tuangalie ni njia gani, lakini at the end of the day lazima tushikane wote ndio tusaidie, mtu mmoja hawezi.
In the recent past, we have supported girls within the COVID context to access MHM products, and supported families to really support girls to access those kind of products that they need during their menstrual hygiene periods.
Miaka 10 kikam nataka ikue period is not a shame. Period is not a curse. Wasichana wetu waweze kukua wana menstruate freely, na kimenstruate mwanaume anaweza jitokeza pale aweze kumsaidia. Na pia mimi na urge wanaume wenzangu tujitokeze kwa hii issue kuweza kusaidia hawa wasichana wetu. Wanawake peke yao hawezi.
My really message is to all the stakeholders and all partners, both the community level, the parents and the government. Action, coming together to take action. Coming together to continue the conversation around MHM, and ensuring that there is more awareness creation on what else we can continue doing in supporting the girls that we work with to continually get support and services around MHM. We can even empower communities to be innovative and create opportunities for income from MHM work and products and services.
Mpaka saizi bado tuko na challenge. Wanaume wako lakini anajificha ficha. Mimi sio unaona nilijitolelea because nini na feel proud nikifanya, nasikia that is the right job for me.
A period should end a sentence, not a girl's education. Those words resounded the world over in 2018 from the winners of a documentary called Period End of Sentence. And that's exactly what this movement seeks to do. The push for menstrual equality means that we need to incorporate male champions. We need to make sure that girls, as you've seen in this feature, are not forced to choose between worrying about whether their families are going to put food on the table or give the girls pads. We should also make sure that there's sustainable ways in which the distribution of sanitary products are given, especially to girls. Since the amendment of the Basic Education Act in 2017, when President Uhuru Kenyatta signed into law the fact that every girl in primary school in Kenya, in public schools, should get sanitary products. Unfortunately, as much as there's been goodwill, it has been rather inconsistent. But that means the rest of us need to push for menstrual equity wherever we are, even if it means when you're going to a supermarket, buying products for yourself and for somebody who doesn't have them. Even if it means discourse over the implementation of the menstrual health strategy, one of the first of its kind from the continent. That was launched in 2020. And again, in as much as it's another win in the space of menstrual equality, what about implementation? What about the holistic inclusion of persons who are differently abled and from various vulnerable communities? This is the only way we can make sure that every girl is getting the access that she needs and deserves. Let's consider this as we continue to rewrite the stories of millions of girls across the country, the continent, and the world. Now, next week will mark the finale of Rewrite Her Story, a series which we have been bringing you every week and every Sunday right here on Citizen TV with Plan International and Inua Dada. And in our finale, we will have our call to action that hopefully will also inspire many of you to take action from wherever you are. I'm Janet Borgwa. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and we'll see you again soon.